Okay, you might say that I deserve to get poisoned, because seriously, I ran for it. That was a beginner's mistake. I'll admit that at least it flinched. Well, thank you very much. But, yeah, maybe it was the stress of the situation where, you know, not only is this an Elite Four run, but a recorded Elite Four run. Thousands of people are going to see this. So basically I'm performing in front of a huge crowd, and it's not without its tense moments. Still, that's no excuse. I should have switched to Togekiss right away. It would have saved me a lot of trouble. And now, yeah, hurt by poison, and it's only got 35 HP left. Lucario, you know what? I'll keep Togekiss in there, try to nail a flamethrower on it. Fight, Togekiss! Fight to the death! That was the sound of my palm connecting with my forehead. Or this can happen. The death can come before the fight. So now, what have I got? Okay, let's see. Giratina, maybe. Could send Torterra and Earthquake, but I don't feel like testing out whether it has Ice Punch or not. And maybe I should have gone with Torterra on second thought. Got Shadow Ball, come on! Earthquake, probably not gonna kill it. Once again, Torterra might have been able to kill it, but now I guess we'll never know. God. Lucario's so unpredictable. It's got a million moves, so it's hard to know which one it actually has. Full Restore, so that means another Earthquake just to stall things even further. Yeah, because we really needed that. Well, at least I guess Giratina can't be hit with stab moves from this Lucario, because one thing that I think I can take for granted is that it doesn't have Steel moves, because of Steel's extremely redundant type coverage with the fighting, but at least Steel can hit Ghosts. And another Shadow Ball. Giratina is gonna be able to take it, but it's not gonna have much HP left. Okay, it's at half. Okay. Special defense hacks doesn't really matter, because either way I'm going to be pulling it out right away after this. She's only got Milotic and Garchomp left, and I already know exactly who I'm going to use for those two. So, which one of the two is going to be faced first? It's going to be Garchomp, saving the best for last, I see. So I'm going to go with Vaporeon, and I know it's almost dead, which is why I'm going to use a Hyper Potion before I do anything else. So let's see, Bag, HP, PP Restore, Hyper Potion, still got 17 of those. Use the Hyper Potion, so now I'm gonna be fully healed after this for whatever offense it has. What will it be? Outrage, Dragon Claw, Dragon Rush, Earthquake, another move entirely, have no idea. Dragon Rush missed! Well, thanks for the free healing and Earthquake now. Well, at least I didn't have to take two moves, just one, so that's cool. That's okay, as long as I get to launch that Ice Beam. Holy crap, 129 damage! Garchomp hurts like hell! But you already knew that. It was Uber last generation for a reason. And Ice Beam nails the one-hit KO. For a moment I was worried that it would leave it in the red like so many Pokemon in the last few parts. Milotic! Now it's time to bring the Pokemon that I've prepared specifically for this very Pokemon. Cynthia's Milotic is one of the rare Pokemon in the series that can potentially achieve a full sweep. So now, let's begin with Yawn to put it to sleep so that it doesn't mirror coat my Thunderbolts back into my face. And yeah, that was a great move because it used Mirror Coat. It loves spamming Mirror Coat like absolute crazy. So yeah, now I'm healing Vaporeon because it's still got a turn to go before falling asleep, and if I tried to attack, I would have taken loads and loads of damage, probably even died. So let's see just how much a super effective Thunderbolt is going to do with against this monster with above average HP and very high special defense, about a third. Okay, so let's continue spamming it now that it can't reply with a mirror coat every single turn. I think it's just gonna miss just a little. Maybe I can get lucky with the RNG roll and actually kill it, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to do it. It's gonna be close, it's gonna be this close, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh! Why does everyone survive in the red? Okay, not that it matters, at least it didn't go for Mirror Code, it used Surf. So let's use Yawn again while Cynthia's busy using her last full restore. And after that, I'm gonna do what am I gonna do? Am I gonna heal another Pokemon? I don't think I need to. So I'm gonna save the potion. I'm just gonna throw up a Reflect, even though it's not gonna change anything at all because Milotic only has special moves. And it's her last Pokemon too. So yeah, let's try to 4-hit KO that monster with Thunderbolt while it's still asleep. Oh, critical! Excellent! Awesome! Super! And yes, I knew it was a critical before the message popped up because, well, it was obvious as day. I did about a third with each Thunderbolt before and it was already heading past half damage. Okay, one more hit! One more hit and it's done! So, now that it's still asleep, I have pretty much won this. Yep, this fight is over. I am the new champion of the Sinnoh Pokemon League. And my plan worked perfectly. I raised Uxie with the intent from day one to take that Milotic on. I was intending on maybe giving it Light Screen, but it had a nature that lowered the physical defense and raised special defense, so I went with Reflect instead. Not that it really mattered because I never really needed it, but had I had Light Screen, I could have used it instead of healing some random Pokemon during the turn where I was waiting for sleep to kick in. So, that was it. That was the Sinnoh Pokemon League. Definitely harder than previous Pokemon Leagues. I will give it that much. And Cynthia, definitely the toughest champion out there. No freaking contest. Anyway, we're about to head into the Hall of Fame, and as tradition has it, the professor randomly pops up after the fight's already been won. And by the way, just one thing about this scene that you're about to see in the Hall of Fame room is that a really cool thing that they did is that they changed the dialogue between, the first time that you do the Pokemon League and all subsequent times. Because what's about to be said really wouldn't make sense if it was my second time through or more. I'm going to show you what I mean in just a second. Okay, it's been a long while since I last entered this room. If your last time here was when I became champion, then yes, that would be quite a long time ago. Go away, nobody likes a braggart, and I definitely don't like you. Anyway, this is what I meant by it wouldn't make any sense had it been my second time through. You're going to see the other dialogue for further Elite Four runs when I take care of the rematches at the very end of this LP. Anyway, let's take a look at our team, including the brave Togekiss who died for the cause. I think it's my first death in this LP, actually. Oh, it was bound to happen sooner or later anyway. Stupid poison hack, stupid mistake of mine. So we got Torterra, Togekiss, Vaporeon. Probably today's MVP, actually. Did a lot of the work alongside Togekiss. Uxie took down that Milotic like a pro. Lucario didn't do a whole lot, but still came in very handy before the Elite Four. And Giratina, which is going to be the only surviving team member heading into the post-game. Now, don't I get a Pokédex rating? It usually happens once you've beaten the Elite Four, but not that it really matters, and it's taking a really long time to save. Oh god, please don't tell me it froze, but it's still spinning for some reason. Please don't tell me the game's all fucked up and I'm gonna have to do this all over again. Please! Please! Save! Okay. I was really starting to panic here. This shouldn't have been this long. God, wait to give me a heart attack game. Anyway, yeah, I was about to say I was supposed to get a Pokédex rating. That's because I wanted to show you, and yes, I have checked before I started recording today. I only had a few entries missing, but all of them were covered by the Elite Four and Cynthia, which means that I now have seen every last Pokemon in the Sinnoh Dex. All 210 of them. And for those of you wondering why it's so important, as aren't Drifloons supposed to be a bit smaller than that? Or maybe it's just my imagination. But anyway, the reason why it's so important is because in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, you need to have seen every Pokemon in the Sinnoh Dex in order to be able to obtain the National Dex. And obviously you need the National Dex if you want to be able to do pretty much anything in the post-game, be it the Poké-Radar, the Battle Zone, the Snow Point Temple. I think you only need the Elite Four, but most of the post-game stuff, you need the National Dex. So that means there's going to be no Wild Goose Chase for the remaining Pokédex entries. And if you're wondering just how I did it, because it happens a lot, you know, that players don't fight every trainer along the way and stuff like that. Well, the game's been engineered so that if you fight every single trainer along the way, you're only going to miss a very few of them. I think, well, Manaphy, you need to read that book in Backlot's Mansion. The Legendary Trio, you actually need to have faced them. You need to have either killed or caught Uxie and Azelf, and you also need to have released Nesprit. And what else? There's also, oh yeah, Rotom. Rotom, you need to have faced it in the old Chateau, but that's only in Platinum, because in Diamond and Pearl it wasn't in the Sinnoh Dex. It was added in the Sinnoh Dex expansion, because in Diamond and Pearl you could only get Rotom during the post-game, but that's already been taken care of here. And as for Unknown, no trainer has it. You need to have triggered a random battle in the Solaceon Ruins in order to be able to, you know, have Unknown's Pokédex entry as seen, not owned necessarily. And the Solaceon Ruins, by the way, have such a low encounter rate that you can go through the entire place without even meeting one. This is what happened to me. If you remember, I even needed to go back inside the ruins because I remembered later on that I hadn't fought a single battle, and you need to have fought a wild battle in the Solaceon Ruins in order to get Unknown's Dex entry, because it's the only way. There are no other Unknowns in the game. No trainer has one. And by the way, I apologize if the credits look all weird. It's because they're supposed to, you know, head through the area between the two screens on an actual DS. But since the two screens are right next to each other on the emulator, that's why it looks like all out of whack, and it takes a little while for stuff to pop up on the top screen. So we're about to see the end of the credits here. Artwork coordinators, okay, Junichi Masuda, obviously. Can't forget about Junichi Masuda. And executive producer Satoshi Tajiri. Would you believe there are still morons who think that he's actually dead, even though Game Freak made a press release saying that every single one of their employees survived, including Satoshi Tajiri. So, no, for anyone who still had doubt, he's not dead, he's very much alive, and he's going to keep on living to make Flareon's and Luffdisc's life a living hell. So, thus ends the main game of Pokemon Platinum. Hope you've enjoyed it. Join me next time as I get started on the post-game.